Hi class. So today we're going to be doing something that's called an authentic assessment. And that means that we assess what we're learning in class, but we do it in a real world setting with things that actually matter. And today we're going to be writing to the acting commissioner of the Department of Education for the state of New Jersey. We've been reading House on Mango Street and seeing how Esperanza deals with inner city life. And we in Bergen County also have a piece of the inner city in the city of Newark. And it's no surprise that the city of Newark doesn't have as great of a school system as, say, we do here at Pascack Hills. So we want to tell the commissioner how we feel about that. And we're going to use the articles that we read to be our supporter, our textual evidence in doing so. So the first thing we want to do, obviously, if we're going to write an email, is we want to review tips on email etiquette, how to write a formal, appropriate email to an adult or to a superior. Okay, so we're going to start with this short PowerPoint. Okay, the first thing you want to make sure is that you have a formal email address. Sexy Girl 101 or Bad Boy 58, I know these sound really silly, but people have emails like this and they're never appropriate when you're trying to email a boss or somebody in a higher position than you. Instead, you want to have an email that maybe just has your first and last name. Hint, your school email is just fine for this purpose. The next thing you want to do is you want to have a formal salutation, and the salutation is the greeting. Okay, so one of the following would work just fine. Dr. Smith, dear Dr. Smith, hello Dr. Smith. Notice that there is a colon after every salutation for the first three. You don't want to write hi Mr. Smith with a comma or dear Mr. Smith with a comma. Next up is a subject line. You want to make sure your subject is very specific to what you're trying to talk to that person about. People, especially people as busy and as popular as the commissioner, are going to get several emails a day. So you want to make sure you make yours stand out and then he or she knows exactly what you're trying to talk to them about so you don't waste their time or they just don't simply put it in their trash. Next up is the body of the email. Right off the bat, you definitely want to identify yourself. So for example, I would say, good afternoon, my name is Alana Rome and I'm an English teacher at Pascack Hills High School. You'll say your name first and last and perhaps that you're a student at Pascack Hills High School. Try to get to the point as quickly as possible in the body of your email, which is the heart of your email. It's basically what you're trying to tell them. Lastly, you have your closing statement. You always want to sign off with a formal closing statement. Keep it simple, keep it formal. Thank you for your help, sincerely, and then your name. Instead of sincerely, you could also use regards, best. There's definitely a few that you can use, and if you're looking for one that's a little bit different, you can always Google email closing statement. A few other tips to keep in mind. You definitely want to use spell check. So what I would suggest is writing the body of your email in Microsoft Word so that you can use the spell check feature. And last but not least, remember that all emails are permanent documents. You may hit the delete button, but as anything else on the internet goes, they're never truly deleted. Okay, so now that we have seen the basic PowerPoint on how to do an email, I'm going to show you an example of my email to the commissioner. So if you're on your school email, you would go to the top left where it says mail. Your to would obviously be the commissioner's email. This is your subject line. And this is where you would write the body of your email. And then when you're finished, you would hit send. So here is my example email. So here we have Commissioner Hespe's email. We have a specific subject line, help Newark schools and students. Sorry about that. And then we have the body of the email, which starts with the salutation. Dear Commissioner Hespe, colon. Good afternoon, my name is Alana Rome, and I'm an English teacher at Pascack Hills High School, so I introduce myself. And then I get to the point. I am writing in regards to the ineffective teaching and dangerous school environment that students experience in the Newark Public Schools. It appears the state of New Jersey has no regard for students that come from low-income areas, as well as students that come from a minority ethnic background. Then, I bring in my textual evidence as support. In an NJ.com article by Shanta L. Jackson entitled Newark Teacher Tells of Inner City Life, Newark teacher Tamim Monkur discusses where the Department of Education's focus truly lies. We are so test score oriented. This is all we focus on, and we do not focus on the child. So there, as you can see, I bring in a quotation from the article itself to support my point. And then I explain that quote, what it means in my own words. Instead of focusing on the well-being, and I'm going to be proofreading as I go along, instead of focusing on the well-being and academic future of the students, school districts like Newark are focusing solely on standardized test scores like PARCC. Meanwhile, Monkur says there's a bigger problem in schools. And now I bring in another quotation. There are now children of gang members and children of drug addicts who often have to fend for themselves. On top of that, children are bombarded with technology and video games. Then I wrap it up. I find it unacceptable that you are not doing anything to stop this focus on school rankings and how schools look in the media. Schools and those in charge of them should be focusing on the health and well-being of their students. I hope you take my opinions and support for these opinions into consideration. Thank you for your time. Then I have my closing, regards, and my name, Alana Rome.